Hello and welcome to Waifus of Overwatch. I am Erin Fitzgerald and my best friend co-host is...
Danielle McCrae, how you guys doing?
And we are here. Oh my god, you guys, you'd have no... I'm so thrilled. This is the year, 2017 marks the year where we get all the amazing female characters on the show, and this show is no different. We are blessed to have Carolina Ravassa, who plays Sombra, with us. Welcome, Carolina.
Woohoo! How you guys doing?
Really good. Really excited. So excited.
Thanks for having me.
I love, and you live on the other side of the country, and we're very busy, so we're really appreciative of your time and that you made time to be able to pop by and say hi to our little show here. I am so excited. I mean, the most exciting thing about you is you are so international. Like, I mean, the game Overwatch is such a brilliant game because it's such an international cast and international characters and creation, but you yourself are super international. Born in Colombia, 4 languages, you've been traveled the world. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. It's something I like to do, and I love languages, so it's not like I'm like, let's go be impressive. It just thrives in me, you know? I love culture and food and languages, and accents.
Yes, absolutely. I totally feel you there. So you where did you study? What did you study? When did you start knowing that you were going to be an actor professionally? All of that stuff. We want the history. We want the background. Who are you?
Well, I did grow up in Colombia. My parents still live there. My sisters live abroad, though. We're all outside of Colombia right now. I've told this story 7,000 times.
Right.
I think I was just a hyperactive child, and I remember doing some solo in like a Christmas concert when I was 4.5. And then, the guy who directed that was like, oh, maybe Carolina would like to audition for the musical. We're doing The Sound of Music. And I was like, sure. And I auditioned for, for the tiniest daughter, Gretel, and I got the role. And since then, I just absolutely loved being on stage and singing and dancing and acting. I just loved it. So since I was very young, I was like, oh my God, I love this, And since then, I've been doing theater. I did theater in school, not professionally, but, we did some pretty decent musicals at my school. And when it came time to apply to colleges, I knew I wanted to study in the U.S. My aunts and my mom had all studied abroad, so I thought, theater, they prepare you pretty well for theater in the U.S., more than at the time I thought in Colombia. So I studied theater at Boston College. Luckily, my parents have always supported, the three of us daughters being artists. So we all sort of studied different artistic things, but they know that that's what we love. And, if you do what you love, hopefully you're going to thrive at it. So yeah. So Boston College for 4 years, and I did theater there, and I loved it. And then I moved to New York to do 1 year of film acting it was a film conservatory program. So you kind of focus on acting for film and TV and stuff like that. And then I stayed in New York, and I've been auditioning here ever since, for about 10 years.
Oh, that's amazing. And you've worked on video games before. Overwatch isn't your first video game.
Overwatch is not the first. I worked on Max Payne 3 because they originally needed people who spoke Brazilian Portuguese for the Brazilian parts the game's set in Brazil. So I played a lot of different characters there. It was motion capture, which was really cool for Rockstar Games. And then they called me back for GTA 5, and so I worked with them on that. But Sombra is definitely the first, bigger character I've played, and she's all, it's just voice, so I did no mocap for it. And it's a lot of, just voice work, so it's kind of the bigger project I've done in video games. And she's by far the coolest character,
Do you record remotely from New York and have Andrea direct you from over here, or do you fly to LA?
Oh, I wish I flew to LA and it was that fancy. No, we record based in New York, and they just direct us via the headset.
Well, there's enough of you now. They need to have their own little studio over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they work with a studio here, so I think 3 of us record out here.
Yeah. That's so cool. That is so groovy, and it's just so amazing. I mean, when you booked the job, the game was already out, obviously, and Did had you heard of the game before you auditioned for the character? Because, I mean, did you play video games? Were you anywhere in that universe?
I'm not a gamer at all. I didn't I knew about Comic-Con. I didn't know about conventions. Like, all of this is so new to me.
Right.
I think I played Mario Karts with my cousin when I was 7 or something. That was about it.
Got it. That's a pretty decent game to be the only game you play, so well
oh my
done.
God. I was really bad at it too, though. But, when I auditioned for Sombra, she had a different name, and I think they might have said it was for Overwatch, but I'm so used to auditioning for video games. And
yeah, they would have kept it quiet.
Well, the game was out already, so...
they still keep it quiet. They still, you don't know exactly what your audition... if you know the universe, you're like, I think this might be, but they don't tell you.
Maybe they knew. Maybe they said it was for Blizzard, but at the time, I think I'd only worked for Rockstar Games. So I just wasn't aware of, all these things. And I didn't even care to Google it, because usually they're all, these fake names. So I was like, I'm not even going to bother,
Right.
Really, just auditioned without knowing what the heck it was,
That gives you freedom, though. Then you don't feel like you're trying to fit into a universe, and you get to pick what you want to do for the character based on your own artistic creation.
Yeah, and it's
totally
no pressure.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, I think we still are like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool to book, but yeah, I guess when you don't know, that's true. You're just like, okay. I think we audition a lot of the Marvel stuff and different Apple commercials here in New York. We always audition thinking it's for a blueberry muffin or something, and then you just can't really stress out because they kind of change everything. Yeah.
No, it's so true, and it does. Danielle's right. It does take the pressure off for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. I mean, and I didn't, when I booked it, I was like, okay, I booked this thing. I love my agents. They were like, hey, I think this character might recur, meaning we might do other sessions, because I thought this was a one-off, 4-hour session. That was it.
Video game. Yeah.
And then oh yeah, we're going to call you back next week. I'm like, okay. But I didn't know Sombra was a character you could play. I just didn't know anything, so.
That she would be the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so groovy. Did you, okay, so you don't play video games. You were not very video game experienced. You record for Blizzard, one of the biggest game companies ever created on the planet. And you book a lead character that made the entire internet break. We were so excited when she came out. She is, Symmetra is cool and badass. And then Sombra came along and we all went, what? This is amazing. And now here you are. It's how long? I feel like Sombra came out pretty quick after the games. I feel like she's been out almost a year. Has she been out almost a year?
She came out in November 4th on BlizzCon.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So it's been almost a year with her. And have you seen any of the gameplay? Have you seen any of your interstitials or anything like that?
I have fans that tweet their gameplays at me, and they're like, "What do you think, Sombra?" And I'm like, "Great, you got 7,000 points," or I don't know what the heck that means. I celebrate it all because I think it's phenomenal. I don't. I went to a convention in Canada, and they asked me to kind of not moderate, but comment while they had some teams playing. Oh God, I was so pathetic because half the time I didn't. It's so fast, guys. The game is so fast, and I was just trying to keep up, and I was like, wait, who killed what? What happened there? Whose is that bubble of energy killing somebody else? I don't even know the proper terms of everybody's powers and stuff. So
right.
I felt a little pathetic.
But just know that is normal. Voice actors are not normally. I only know this game because I play this game addictively, somebody who is addicted to something really, really horrible, but this is so wonderful, I don't mind. But I don't know any of my video games, nothing at all. And so when people ask me about it, I'm like, I don't know the rest of the story. They didn't give me the entire story. I only know the stuff that I recorded. So if the thing with Danielle, she actually plays 90% of the video games out there, because Danielle, you are so experienced with video gaming. So when you're going to a con and they ask you to do stuff, Danielle's like, she knows exactly what the gameplay is. She knows all the characters. I'm like, I know nothing. I know. And now it's totally useless for me to know Overwatch but not know anything else. I'm like, I can moderate some other game that I'm not in, but yeah, so that's a really hard thing. I highly recommend watching stuff on Twitch because at least you can see some of it a little and kind of catch it, especially before a convention, because they ask you questions you don't know. How are you supposed to know? But they expect you to know. It's cuckoo crazy.
Well, you know, in part though, I kind of like, I'm just very honest. I'm like, guys, I'm too busy like auditioning for other voiceover projects or other film things that I don't have time for this. And I love you guys. I love the fans. Like, I think that, you know, I think it is okay that we're not gamers. But also it's just like, there's too much to keep up with. I think it's you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's a lot.
So I can't claim to try. Yeah. I think I have to watch like a beginner's match just to be like, that was Symmetra running really slow and then she did her superpower, and like, you know, I kind of need somebody just like play by play explaining, you know, Winston just saved somebody. I don't know, you know.
No, especially when you've got like the professional gamers, like that's that's literally a thing now. They're in Burbank, in California. They are opening a 450 person arena for esports for Blizzard, just for Blizzard. It's crazy. An esports arena. I have never heard of an esports arena, and now Blizzard's going to have one in Burbank, and they already have the competitive Hearthstone, and then Overwatch is going to start being competitive esports. Like, people will be making money from playing your character.
But so then you both do voiceover work, but also play the games.
I play Overwatch. Danielle is a gamer.
Overwatch. Yeah.
Danielle plays everything. Yeah,
but Danielle, you're a VO actress, and like, okay, and you happen to also play. That's amazing. I wish I was a gamer voiceover.
we literally started this podcast just because we were playing so much Overwatch. I felt like we needed to justify the hours of playing, and like, it's almost like research and development, right? Yeah, this is research and development.
And they, you know, for writers, they say write what you know, so talk about what you know clearly. Awesome.
Yeah, well, at least in this case, but it helps because it's only the best game in the universe. I'm not a first-person shooter person. Like, your character, I was so intimidated by your character and just how much she could do. Like, oh my gosh, it took me forever. But I have been playing with her more and more, and she is so. If you can play a good Sombra, unfortunately my aim is really bad, but good Sombra, she can paralyze the other team, just paralyze them, and your team could just walk right into the point. Done. Move that payload in. Done. She's so powerful.
Moving the payload.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. And she has the best lines for getting everybody off their butt to do what they're supposed to be doing. Like,
are you kidding? I love them. Yeah.
So good. And those are the things that I, as a player, am annoyed with. I'm like, why is nobody moving the payload? And then Sombra's like, why is nobody moving the payload? Thank you, Sombra.
And I want to hear that. I'm like, thank you, Sombra. Thank you.
I love it.
It's so good. You like your character is the one that gets everybody off their butts to do their job.
I know. It's fun. Her lines are really snarky. I think they're amazing.
But they're not even snarky. They're just honest. They're just really,
that's true.
really honest.
Good point.
Because when you're in gameplay and it's like you're there to win or lose, right? I mean, if some people are just kind of like, doop-a-doop-a-doo, I'm going to go over here and be all Hanzo-y and shoot you over here way off the point. That's like, doesn't help any of us. It doesn't help.
I love it.
It's so silly. So has being in Overwatch changed your universe at all?
Holy cow. I mean, yes, tons. I mean, for one thing, well, first of all, like the acting experience has been great. I love working with Blizzard. I think she's a great character that I can stand behind and feel really proud about. And so I love talking about her, going to panels to talk about her, all that kind of stuff. I think it's great. I think it also introduced me to fans. I mean, the fans are just so loving and generous and exciting. And, I love meeting them at conventions. That's been really special. So I feel like, And conventions, of course, that's another part of it. Like, I love travel, and so they're like, do you want to come to Kuwait? I'm like, sure, I've never been to that country. Let's go.
That's awesome.
It is crazy. I've traveled to places this year that I never imagined going for work. So, yes, it's a gift that keeps on giving, and I love that. New countries keep saying, hey, when can you come to Spain? When are you coming to the Philippines? I'm like, what? Holy cow,
That's fantastic. Do you get to use your languages too? Because that's even extra fantastic.
Well, in the Middle East, I was just practicing to talk like they talk. So I was really just focusing on what, Middle Easterners talk like. But no, I don't speak Arabic. But, I hope to go to Argentina.
Well, the Philippines, they speak Spanish.
Little bit, but I haven't been there yet. But yeah, I hope to go to all the Latin countries and to Brazil. I have so many fans there.
Oh, yay.
So yeah, I pick up little things here and there, so for sure. But like the Romance languages aren't everywhere, so it's just limited countries,
That's true. But you can understand French, I'm sure, if you speak all those other ones.
Yeah, some basic stuff. Sometimes though it's too fast,
Oh yeah, that's true. I feel you there. That's really cool. So, what are your favorite things about Sombra so far? Like, and is there anything that you're hoping the writers, any direction? Obviously, we don't know anything. You don't know anything. They're not going to tell you anything about the future, and you're not going to give away anything and get in trouble with Blizzard because we want you to have this job for the next 30 years. So,
that's so kind of you.
No, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I want to be playing this game 30 years from now. There are video games that are that old. Why can't this one be?
I know.
So, what kind of things are you excited about with her now, and what kind of things would you love to see more of for your character in the future?
Well, I think I'm curious to see like who she'd interact with more, in terms of the other Overwatch characters. Like what kind of relationships does she form? Friendships or broships? Like, is she really a bro with McBruh or, or what? So that I think is fun for sure, because she's very independent. And so I am curious, like what kind of friends she makes, if she makes any.
Right.
But I also, everyone's asking me what her teddy bear's name is, and I was like, I don't know. But I also want to know a little bit of the backstory there. Like, who gave her this teddy bear? Why does she keep it? So cute. So she definitely has a mushy side, obviously, or maybe she's hiding money in it. What do I know? But like, I think that,
would you like to know? We would all like to know. Blizzard, get on that.
I know they're so good at keeping little secrets for a while, though. So they'll drag it out. Yeah, I guess just her backstory and like a little bit more about her personal life would be cool, just because she is such a mystery still. So yeah, that's kind of. But I just love that I love her sense of humor. I always talk about that. I love that she's so confident and like so good at what she does. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite parts. I don't think there's enough female characters like that out in the world, period. For every 30 guy characters that are like that, we may get one female character. So that this game is not afraid of releasing multiple female badass characters is thrilling beyond belief. It's so exciting that it's happening and that women are almost 50-50 in this particular game. So, they are 50-50, but in terms of Blizzard and what Blizzard does with women and how they celebrate their employees that are female. They don't. It's such an amazing cutting edge company, and what they're doing is so cutting edge and so impressive. And they're changing the face of the gaming entertainment world, and hopefully other companies follow, because obviously it's lucrative.
Yes.
There's money there to be had. It's very exciting. We both, Danielle and I, are huge advocates for Blizzard to create an animated series, like an actual cartoon with these characters, where we can really get into those. We want to see these characters in full relationships with each other.
All of us do.
Oh my gosh, it's like such a desire. It's so painful that we don't have one yet. I can't. The interstitials are great, but it's so unsatisfying that it's only a few minutes. I'm like, no.
I know.
There has to be more.
We're hoping. I mean, I think the fans, the voice actors, Blizzard probably wants it too. I think it's just, there's a lot going on, and they probably have characters that they're developing. So who knows, like, what's going on behind closed doors? But that would be the best. That would be so amazing.
Yes.
Oh my god! I can't I just to be thrilled to have all of you on the screen at the same time interacting instead of like backstory alone. Oh my god! I'll lose my mind. Mind. I'm so excited about that. So I wanted to also just talk about a little bit about the biggest event of the year is always BlizzCon, and you went for the first time last year when your character was announced. How was that experience for you? Did you know what you were in for? Was that your very first kind of con?
My very first con ever. Oh my god.
Woo! That's a pretty juicy one to go to for your first one.
Holy cow. It was crazy because I'd heard about these conventions, but I didn't realize that what a big deal they were. I thought there was like one a year in like Comic-Con, and that was it. Like I really didn't know the extent of how big these things were. I didn't know that people were watching online with like codes and stuff.
Right.
So that was crazy. Sorry, that's guess who's texting me? It's Farah. Jen Cohn. Do you hear that bing on my computer?
Good morning, Farah, because that's what we say every morning. Good morning, Farah.
She's gonna give me some. We're gonna have breakfast to have some. She's giving me some advice on getting my animation demo together.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
So, what was I gonna say? BlizzCon was a huge, holy cow. I think it explained what Overwatch is, because I just didn't realize it was so big. Right. And I think that I had a moment where I was freaking out a little bit. We're sitting at the opening ceremony, and I mean, I knew it was a lot of people, and I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I had recorded the whole, Sombra is hacking into the system and talks to y'alls. And so as soon as the computers, the screens kind of went dark and glitchy things started going on, right. I told my friend, oh, I think this is me. I didn't know. And, as soon as she comes on the screen, people went wild. Yes. The screaming and the clapping. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
You're instant rock star.
Well, I'm in the middle of the audience, and I'm like, holy
Oh, yeah, right.
So it was a little crazy, and then my friend was like, oh my God, that's my friend, and he turned to the people next door, and he's like, that's her. It was so funny. He was such a geek.
I love it.
But the funny thing was that then Andrea told me that even the sound engineers, or the guys who were taking care of all the audiovisual stuff, they had a moment of, oh my God, our system went down. They had every video queued up, but they didn't know that the beginning of the video looked like everything was going, black and kind of dying. So they had a moment where it was like, holy cow, what's happening?
Sombra was hacking the system.
Yes.
Right. So anyways, and then from then on, it was just I was walking around and I was like, oh, I met the cosplayer Sombra, and they had one there. She was all set to go, which was amazing. And then I think it really hit me when we did the panel, and the next day, the voice actor panel with 8 of the actors, and I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe. I felt like I was sitting next to voiceover royalty because everyone's so talented there. I was just like, oh my God, what is this?
It is the epicenter of all things awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's really groovy. Do you get and you must, but I want to talk about it because there's just really nowhere near enough Latina video game rock stars in the gaming universe. Do you get a lot of fans coming up where the character is an inspiration sort of thing? Let's talk about representation and getting to play characters that aren't stereotypical, that are really, really she is a free being, fully rounded human experience of awesomeness, whereas a lot of the times you work on television or even in animation, everything becomes very stereotypical. Well, we don't want you to get too, can you be more like this, which is just the stereotype instead of a full rounded character. Do you feel like the entire entertainment industry is improving, or is it just a million questions in one question? You're welcome.
I think, let's see. I think just to start with the general stuff. I think the entertainment industry is changing slowly. I have gone in for a lot of really cool, badass Latina characters that aren't just like the stereotype, the baby mama, the illegal immigrant that's gonna get deported, all that stuff. Which I know that stuff exists. So it's. I'm sorry. The beeping is crazy. I can't stop it.
Ding. It's okay.
I know. I feel like I have been excited to audition for more complex characters recently.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
I think I do get a lot of fans coming up to me being like, "Oh my God, like Sombra's the first, character that reminds." Wow, I can't stop it. I'm sorry. Like I totally box.
I feel like it's okay because you play Sombra to have all of your tech gadgets making noises. We're okay with it.
Can I tell you that every time I go to like to speak at some event or to if there's gonna be gaming going on, they're like, oh, our system's down. It's probably because you're here, and I'm like, guys, I swear to God, I have nothing to do with it. But they blame Sombra. So
we do. All the tech issues, it's all Sombra. We know she exists beyond a human being. We believe her. Yeah.
As if I bring that energy in.
Yeah.
But so what was I saying? Something about stereotypes.
Yeah, and things have been getting better.
They've been getting better, and I really feel excited when fans come up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, my mom loves watching me play Sombra because she's like, oh, it sounds like me, and so I feel like I like that she has an accent because it's not just I'm a Latina and I'm stereotypical and whatever.
Exactly.
But like I like that that Sombra is complex and it's not a super heavy
like
accent.
A normal, real human being from a real place doing real things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not real things, but real futuristic.
Well,
things.
yeah, right. She's like she has a teleporter. Yeah, no.
In my world, like, that's normal, Carolina. That's
sure. Yeah, okay, whatever. But so I do feel like representation is huge and inclusivity. We talk about this all the time on all the panels we're on. I think it's a really big deal. Just all of the characters, Symmetra and having a Swiss German character. I mean, Egyptian characters. Oh my God, when do you have cool Egyptian characters that aren't terrorists? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes.
Anyways, so I do think that I never thought that I would be sitting here talking about a video game character and how she influences so many people, especially young kids. And I think that's really special, and I think it makes me so proud and happy to be a part of it. Honored, really.
I love that. That's fantastic. And you are blazing the way, breaking glass ceilings. Your performance is so good. It's just so good. It's so good. You just can't ask for any more. I mean, Andrea does brilliant casting. Like, she casts the characters so flawlessly. There's no hesitation in believing who they are, believing their universe, and we're all left wanting so much more. More. There's no question. I
think of all
exciting.
The characters, though.
All of them.
We have questions about everybody. It's crazy.
Brilliant. They're brilliant. Yeah. There isn't a character. Well, okay, there might be a character I'm salty with, but it's not that I dislike her because of her performance. But I'm only salty because she murders me all the time and is really annoying. But other than that, she's still a great character, because you have to be a great character in order to evoke any sort of passion or a reaction off of somebody. I mean, that's the real art of it, right? It's so brilliant. It's so fantastic. So we're very excited to see where Sombra goes and what happens with Overwatch, but more excited now that you're on the playing field, like really established on the playing field in the universe. Ideally, we get to see more of you in more games, in more capacity. I mean, there's so much that you have to bring to the table. You are such a well-rounded actor with so much to offer. I'm very excited and I'm glad that you're going to get your animation demo done. I love that, because we could all end up in a room together. You never know. That's awesome.
That would be crazy awesome. You know what it is? It's just in New York, we do a lot of commercial voiceover work. Yeah. And so I mean, obviously I've had a demo for years in English and Spanish, but I really, now with Sombra, I'm like I've been dying to do more animation stuff. Like, since I was a kid, like, listen, Robin Williams was like my top guy. Yes. I watched. I loved him in Aladdin. I loved him in Fern Gully. Yeah. I mean, everything he does in general, but just with the voices, I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do,
It's character acting. Yeah.
Totally. And so now that I've been going to all these conventions and I meet all these amazing, talented, voice actors that are doing the Animaniacs and like Dory when it's not Ellen DeGeneres and all these like amazing, actors that do all these things. They're just like, listen, you got to come out to LA and do animation work here. And I'm like, oh my God.
And it's the time, because everything is opening up and it's becoming so much more diverse finally. I mean, the animation world took forever to get diverse. I mean, the characters might have been diverse, but the cast wasn't in some cases. So yeah, this is the time, man. Like, this is the time. It's such a beautiful period of time of opening up and creativity and just, this is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing that. That would be very exciting.
When it's ready, I will let you know.
Woohoo! Everybody, watch out!
The sound of that.
This is going to be thrilling. Thank you so much for your time today, early this morning, and getting everything organized. Please tell Farah we say hello.
Yeah, I will.
And we are so grateful. Can you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you on social media if they want to contact you, if they're not already following you, which you better be, because it's Sombra. But yeah, anybody new?
Well, I have, my Twitter is simple. It's Carolina Ravassa. It's my name. And I've listed there Waifus of Sombra. So, you will find it. My Instagram is just Ravassa, my last name. And I put a lot of stuff on my YouTube channel. Besides my web series, I've done a lot of videos with the voice actors, so you can find stuff there that's kind of fun. It's called Hispanglo-Saxon. I know it's kind of tricky, but just remember it's because I'm a Hispanic and an Anglo-Saxon. And so
That's brilliant. That's so clever.
So it's Hispanglo-Saxon. And I put a lot of stuff up there, so that's fun. And I guess I have a Facebook page for fans. It's also Carolina Ravassa, the Hispanglo-Saxon. So I put stuff there too. But I'm kind of more active on Instagram and Twitter these days.
And do you have a website, a professional website as well?
Oh, yeah. You can either go to carolinaravassa.com or hispanglosaxon.com. And I've got everything kind of compiled there. So you can see my reel and my commercial reel and like whatever pictures and, crazy things I do. So I kind of keep everything right there. They both go to the same site and you have different kind of sections to it.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. And guys, if you don't already know, Waifus of Overwatch, at Waifus of OW on
Waifus
Twitter.
Of Overwatch. I'm sorry. Can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cute.
Okay.
I love it.
So it started because we were playing, and Danielle and I have together. Danielle and I know each other from working in video games together, and we were we're in a lot of games that are Japanese role-playing games, and there's a term waifu and husbando for the characters you really, really love. Obviously, waifu is wife, husbando is husband, but because Overwatch breaks all the boundaries, we started throwing the words around and breaking all the boundaries. So as we were playing the game, Danielle's waifu is Widowmaker and Zarya. My waifu became Reinhardt because I played as Zenyatta when I started because I couldn't do the first person perspective. It made me feel nauseous. And Zenyatta's super calm with the way he looks at everything. So, and because Reinhardt has his shield, I wouldn't die. So I kept telling Reinhardt I loved him so much. I'm like, he's my waifu. And then Zenyatta's my husbando.
Oh, I love it.
And then when we were like, let's create this show, because all we wanted to do with the show is talk about the characters. And because we know half the cast who lives in LA, we knew we could get them on the show. We thought, oh, that's perfect. We'll just talk about the characters. But we love all the characters, so we decided we're labeling everyone as a waifu because everybody is somebody's waifu in this game.
Totally.
So they became the Waifus of Overwatch. So we're bringing our universe in, mixing it with the Overwatch universe as well.
I love that. So when are you going to interview Danielle's waifu, Widowmaker?
We are working on it. We don't know her. It's harder to set up the interviews with the actors we don't know personally. That's been because that actually becomes a fangirl moment. Like, this is a fangirl moment for us. Dara and I already knew because we worked together on World of Warcraft. So Dara and I were friends.
That
so
little game, other little game.
The little one. But that was easy. I know Matt. We know all the other actors, so that just becomes a friend having a conversation. But when we started breaking out and getting the actors we didn't know, then it became a real podcast. That's when we're like, oh, we're getting
Sweet.
Danielle, because Danielle was messaging me that she contacted you, and I was losing my mind. And she was like, I think we're gonna get
funny.
Sombra. I'm like, oh my gosh, Sombra! Like that's how we really feel. So we don't know.
And it took me forever to finally talk to you guys. I'm sorry. It's just been
Don't apologize. We're so
Right.
it's a fun journey for us, and every new person we get to have as a guest on our show, it thrills us to the core. Like just thrills us to the core.
Well, I will have to put in a special word for the spider, so you guys can interview her.
Merci. Oh, so exciting.
Would greatly appreciate that.
And you're welcome to drop it to Farah too, if you. I mean,
Oh,
I don't
God,
know.
for
Since
sure.
you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
her and all.
She's so cute. She's like, "Can you meet earlier?" I'm like, "No, I'm doing an interview." She's like, "You busy bee?"
I love it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what it is? Sometimes we just get bombarded with a lot of different requests. Like my Facebook
I
inbox
bet.
is so insane right now, and I feel terrible because I know a lot of people want boops right now, but
Right.
it's hard to keep up. And then sometimes messages get lost in the shuffle. Like, hey, can I interview? This is my podcast, and it's not like I'm ignoring people. It's just it's a lot to.
Well, it was so fun at the beginning when nobody knew anything and we could get anybody we wanted anytime we wanted. But now it's definitely like I can feel the struggle. Like when we reach out to people now, we know we're in an ocean of emails now of other podcasts. Now we're like, wait a minute, we were the first one. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Meh. But yeah, I totally get it. You guys are, and we so appreciate that you even take the time for a podcast. Like, I mean, it's really fun to be on this side of a podcast for a change. It's so much more satisfying because it's very exciting because you get to have the continuity of everything. So guys, if you want to hear more of our podcasts we have tons of episodes with other voice actors from Overwatch. Go to waifusofoverwatch.com. You can find us on iTunes, on SoundCloud, the regular places, and we do have a Facebook page as well. And Danielle, what is your Twitter handle?
It is at Danielle MCVO.
Danielle MCVO, and I am at Erin Fitzgerald. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much, Carolina Ravassa, for coming on our show. Yay!
You guys are too cute. Thank you guys. Apagando las luces.
Yay! She did it! Oh, that's so exciting! Oh, she did it! Wee! This is fun. Have a
Forget you
great
people like that stuff.
Oh yeah, we do. But because we're actors, we try not to ask because we know what it's like. When everybody asks, you're like, oh my gosh, train monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
totally.
don't mind. I just forget them, so I need to be reminded what they are,
Right.
That's all.
Well, I would love to hand them to you, but I can't speak Spanish. I don't remember all your Spanish lines, and those are my favoriteest ones.
Okay, de pelos. Or,
Yes.
say,
I love that.
camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente.
Yes! Yes!
Yes.
Ya estoy lista para ese trago. I love that one because she's ready for that drink.
It's so good.
I love that you're giggling over there. It's so cute.
It's so crazy. This is fangirling straight up. When you love something so much and you get to hear it outside of its universe, it makes you so happy.
Well, I even had to learn the term fangirling, so,
You
'cause I was
know
like, what?
everything now. Welcome to, you are caught up.
Not everything, trust me. There's things I don't know. So anyway, but
You're getting there.
I would love to stay and chat, but I'm not going to.
Adios.
Love it.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good ciao.